a lot of people are saying it's kind of a disgrace, to see these two, leaders go back and forth like that.
You thought so? I thought he had his moments.
Oh, really? You didn't think Conan was good?
Some stuff. No, he was good, but not everything was funny.
I thought he was kind of good.
Felt that Devin Haney won. Clearly, look at that fight. Lomachenko got cheated. He got cheated, man. Lomachenko won that fight.
I don't know what's going on. What's going on with these fires?
Man.
And then it feels like we're not equipped.
They're not
to handle these fires. And I'm like, what are we doing? This is 2025.
They was glad that Zelensky sort of stood up to him. I guess they feel like Trump using bully tactics.
We gotta stop this at some point, guys.
Let somebody else pick up the slack.
I mean, yeah.
We done did our part. We need to get some of that money back.
No, Welcome back to the Black Summit. I'm Brooks.
And I am the legendary Hendrix.
And today we're going to be getting into a number of different subjects. We're going to be talking about Trump and Zelensky. We'll be talking about the Oscars. We also got to talk about the fight between Gervonta Davis
and
Lamont Roach. We'll be getting into that. And there's been some fires going on in South Carolina, which is a little unusual, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be getting into that as well. But first we're going to talk about the exchange that happened at the White House. As you guys have seen, Zelensky and Trump and J.D. Vance going at it. And it was kind of an unbelievable scene. I don't know how else to describe it. It's something that you never really see these kind of conversations with this much on the line in public, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are saying it's kind of a disgrace, to see these two, leaders go back and forth like that. But really, this probably happens behind doors a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of people are mad at Trump. They're mad at J.D. Vance. And then you see people on the other side who are mad at Zelensky. They feel like America's been in this war for too long and they want peace. What are your thoughts on the Zelensky-Trump issue?
I saw the comments when I saw it online, and some people were upset with Trump saying that they was glad that Zelensky sort of stood up to him. I guess they feel like Trump using bully tactics. And then I also see they said they was ragging Zelensky because he didn't wear a suit. They were asking him, why you don't ever wear a suit? Now that, I'm like, dude, you in the White House, you should at least wore a suit.
What do you think? You think that's a big thing, the suit issue?
I mean, I figured you would come dress, not saying he wasn't capable of handling business, but I thought he would at least look appropriate and dress the part, Mm-hmm. Well, at least you expect your leaders to be formally dressed. That's just what you expect. I don't know how it is in Ukraine, and who knows, maybe he can walk around like that in Ukraine, and if he can, it's all good. But as far as the deal, I think they are doing the mineral deal, correct?
Yeah, I mean they wanted him to sign, but he didn't sign.
Yeah. But I think he's about to. I read something. He's about to close that deal.
They're saying that now he's saying, after the whole thing, that he wants to still try to make the deal.
Happen. Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Which I think that may be a good thing for us, America getting back some of the funds that they just gave away like that. And I get it, they're an ally, but I'm thinking like, dude, once you gave them funds, okay, cool. Don't keep giving them more money. I'm like, Brian, we over here hurting. So, but I would like to see, once they get some of those funds back, how will that affect the American people? How is that going to benefit American people? Because they got to do that through Congress. He can't just take an executive order and be like, oh, I'm going to just give you guys some money. You know what I'm saying? And if he could do that, if he'd be like, yo, I'm going to give the American people, $5,000-$10,000 a piece. But handle your business, bro. Break me off first.
That's a little controversial what you said there.
Yeah, pause.
Because a lot of people
Pause.
A lot of people feel like Trump right now is in the wrong. What do you think about that?
The way he's
they feel
going
like
about
he's I think a lot of people feel like he's just trying to make some money and not really focus on peace.
You know what?
And a lot of people feel like Trump is saying other things that Putin would say, and Trump is acting as the puppet. That's what people are saying.
You know what? I ain't mad at that either. Because back in my mind, you want to think that, okay, because he's not being, okay, let's just be honest.
Okay.
In your opinion, is Trump being presidential?
No, but that's not his style.
Exactly. That's my point. See, he's not being presidential, so he's not working, I guess you would say, in a bipartisan way. Is that safe to say?
I mean, I think his style isn't to be presidential.
Of course, because
he's not going to be buttoned up like an Obama is.
Right. Or even a Biden,
when
for
people
that
try
matter,
to
or even a Bush.
Yeah, when people expect Trump to be buttoned up,
right,
it's like that's not him.
So he's using boardroom bully tactics. That's him. That's what he's cousin to. That's what he does. So in that aspect, I get what people are saying for as his tact, how he's negotiation, right? I get that, And then at the same time, I would like to say I hope they would do the right thing if they do get funds and make it for the American people. But at the same time, what you just said, I did thought that too. It seems like he's trying to make some money for himself. I mean, I'm just being honest, even though a sitting president is not allowed to have business and they're not supposed to make money off of the American people like that. Yeah. But Trump, for somehow, be honest with you, I really think, and I know some people are going to disagree and some people will agree, to me, it seems his whole presidency is a hustle. After seeing the Trump Gaza thing, not saying that's going to happen, but he did say he wanted to put condominiums that America can own, you know what I'm saying, and got his stamp on it. I'm sure that AI that he posted, I'm sure he would love for that to be what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But let's be fair. A lot of these politicians, when they go into Washington, they start making tons of money.
Oh yeah,
even
down.
Bernie Sanders,
hands down.
A lot of people think of as the guy who's against people making money and these millionaires and billionaires and all this other stuff, right? I mean, even he wrote a book and became a millionaire and is doing all kinds of different things, and so. Or you look like Nancy Pelosi. She's making tons of money off of people. Allegedly, what people are saying is like insider trading and stuff like that. So
and they all write, like you say, they all write books. And then on top of that, that's why gun reform will get passed. That's why healthcare will get passed, because you got the big wigs paying them. They got lobbyists. They paying them money to pass. Pass laws in their favor. That's why laws don't get passed. You can Google who's all in the pockets of the NRA. You can Google that, and it'll tell you what all what all senators and congressmen and women who getting kickbacks.
All right, let's come back to this. Do you think that Trump is a puppet of Putin and Russia? Because a lot of people are saying that, and I don't know. What do you think?
I see why they're saying that. Okay. When Trump blatantly says that, and correct me if I'm saying his name wrong, Zelensky?
Zelensky. Vladimir Zelensky.
Vladimir Zelensky.
Yeah.
When Trump said that Zelensky started the war, which everybody knows that's a farce, that's not true, right? So when you say things like that, and it would make it seem like you are... I can see why people would say that you are a puppet. And then when he says, "Oh, I know I can stop this war," and I'm sure he probably could. If you cozy up to Putin, then obviously you can stop the war. So it seems like it might be a backdoor deal. Hey, we need to get this money back, and by we getting the troops, Putin, okay, then this is what I'm gonna do for you. That's just what it seems like. I think it's more to the story that we not hearing that the American people aren't hearing.
It definitely is, and I think ultimately, a lot of people. This was a very emotional moment. There, I mean, I do not like J.D. Vance at all, and he just kind of filled the fire a little bit there. And then, Zelensky got into it and just, everybody got into it at that point, and it was just a very emotional moment. But, what I look at it as is this. I mean, we have to stop this war.
Yeah,
America cannot. Whether you think that moment was terrible, because I think we're in agreement, right? That wasn't a good moment. You know, that was not a good moment at all. But the fact still remains that we need to negotiate peace, and we need to stop spending money overseas. And, you know, we can't keep these wars going because it doesn't benefit anybody. I mean, people are dying, guys. Like, we need to end this war. We need to end the Palestine war. We need to end all these wars. And we need to get back to spending the money on Americans and America.
Yeah.
Okay? And figuring out the problems that we have here. And, I mean, that's really the truth. And, you know, we've been the police for the world.
I know, right?
For too long. And
that shouldn't be our job.
Yeah. And a lot of the problems that we have here in America is because we're trying to be the police for everybody. You know, don't get me wrong. You know, I think it's good to stand up for your allies. I think it's good to support your allies. I think it's great to, you know, be, you know, somebody who can be behind folks like this. But there comes a point where you have to realize that this cannot go on for another second. Yeah. And we can't afford for it to go on for another second. Yeah. And, you know, listen, I mean, Trump and JD looked terrible on that stage, right? With what they were trying to do. But the fact still remains that we need peace. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are missing that because this emotional moment is what has prevailed through the, you know, the news and stuff like that. So, anyways.
And I think even with, at least I would like to believe that even if they didn't reach an agreement and say Putin was still coming at the Ukraine, I would think that, at least I would think that Trump wouldn't send Ukraine any more money.
Yeah, I don't think we are.
Yeah,
So
definitely Biden would.
But the problem is that, you know, I think a lot of people are, you know, continuing to make Zelensky and the Ukrainians believe that, you know, we can continue this war, and we can't. And we have to come to the realization that we can't. And what I mean by that is, like, there's, you know, the British, you know, the UK, they're offering to put troops on the ground and, you know, to offer air support and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think, and not only that, I think they gave them $2 billion or something like that. Yeah. It's like, we gotta stop this at some point, guys.
Let somebody else pick up the slack. Huh?
I mean, yeah.
We done did our part. We need to get some of that money back.
No, I think don't let anybody else do it. Like, we just need to get peace. Yeah. Obviously, we're talking from, I mean, I don't really know everything. One of the moments was when Zelensky was like, have you been to Ukraine? You know, he said that to JD. It's like, no, a lot of us haven't even been to Ukraine. So we don't really know the problems on the ground, like to a T. But we have to negotiate peace. And there's too many people who have died. And I'm sure on both sides they got a lot of infrastructural damage too, you know, from war and things. Oh, yeah. You can see it.
Yeah. And I know, didn't Zelensky said something about, I read somewhere, he wanted to do the deal, but then he did want to be a part of NATO.
Yeah, he wants to be a part of NATO.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to give that to him, you know. And, you know, it kind of sucks because it feels like, you know, the Russians are winning.
Yeah, because of Trump. That's why.
You know, it sucks. So.
But, you know, the crazy thing is, it looks like the Russians are winning because Trump's in office. But then when Biden's in office, looks like we Americans are losing. You know? Yeah. They're kicking out so much money, you know, that I don't think they can afford we the one who suffer when they do that, you know? Yeah. Like what Jay-Z said, nobody wins when the family feuds, even though they're not our family, but they are an ally, but, you know. Yeah.
All right, I want to switch gears to the Oscars. The Oscars were last night, and Anora won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress. You know, Adrian Brody won Best Actor for his film, The Brutalist. Did you watch the Oscars? What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I did. I did watch the Oscars, man. I what I said before, I thought the same thing. The Oscars, like some of the movies I heard of, some of I haven't, you know. I tried, matter of fact, there one movie that got nominated, Nickel Boys. I tried to watch, I saw that on Prime. I tried to watch some of it. The one movie that was in there with Demi Moore, Substance, I do want to see that.
Yeah, that looks good.
That looks pretty interesting. The rest of them, I try to watch some of that one with Zoe Saldana, but it seemed like it's a musical. And the whole thing's in Spanish, and I was like, it kind of lost me. So I was like,
I don't think I could sit down and watch that.
Yeah, I watched like maybe the first few scenes of it. I tried to watch some of that. But to me, man, the Oscars is not all inclusive. They're just not, man. No matter how you slice it, they're not like the Grammys is doing better. The Grammys are doing better. The Grammy is a way more inclusive genre for music. The Oscars is not all inclusive. You know.
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like,
because a lot of people feel like, you know, with Zoe Saldana winning, you know, some of those other folks.
No, what I'm saying is like, okay, for example, it's the 10 films, right? It's the 10 films. Now, every once in a while, they may throw another film in there for a category for as maybe sound design. When they did, you know, what is it, the 666, whatever that movie about the females who were in the army who for the mail
Yeah,
room.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I was shocked to see that in there, but that was not one of the main films, which was a good film, right? As far as NAACP, it won, you know, a lot. Kerry Washington won awards. And so that film. Then you had Bob Marley film, the film of Bob Marley. That wasn't even, you know, they didn't even throw that. That's what I'm saying. They're not all conclusive. They normally get films the average people don't really hear about or haven't even seen or not even advertised. And then they get those certain genre of films, those 10 films, and then the whole night everything is about just those 10 films.
Yeah.
They're not all inclusive, man. They're just not all inclusive. That's the boring thing about the Oscars. It's stuffy. I get what they're doing, but it's just not, man. Like, and granted, they may do an independent film, which I'm glad they do that. But even with that, it's an independent film nobody knows. You'd have to been to the film festival that represents the Oscars and win, even with the animation, then the short film. And I was like, me and my sister was looking at each other like, we never even knew about this stuff. What, you know, these certain films, and they're just not all inclusive, man.
Well, you know, I think that they are inclusive from the aspect of, I think a lot of the movies that they nominate are independent films. Like I want to go and look up what Sing Sing is, and
I do too.
Coleman Domingo and Nickel Boys and some of these other films. You know, I just haven't seen it, and which is a rarity for me. Usually because, you know, this is our industry, I pay more attention to what movies are being nominated, what movies everybody's talking about. But this year I didn't really watch any of them except Dune Part 2, which was great.
With Dune.
And but I think because, you know, I remember when the nominations happened, a lot of people were kind of in an uproar about it, with some of the snubs and stuff like that. But I think the Oscars are doing what they've always done. And
not include everybody.
The last few years, I think we've kind of gotten lucky with the Oscars, where they would nominate some of the movies that we've seen, like in the theaters, like some of the Marvel films were getting some traction.
At least, yeah.
Some of the like movies like Dune and stuff like that last year was getting some traction, or even what's the Barbie movie was kind of
Barbie,
something that people were talking about. So, you know, I think. That's not what the Oscars usually do, and I think now this year they're kind of getting back to what they usually do, which is you know, nominate these movies that you haven't really seen,
that nobody knows about.
But you know, I think that it's kind of a mix every year, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think the Oscars was overall pretty good. I mean, I really thought that Conan was funny.
You thought so? I thought he had his moments.
Oh, really? You didn't think Conan was good?
Some stuff. No, he was good, but not everything was funny.
I thought he was kind of good. I mean, I like Conan. I like his humor, and
I think they wanted to be more safe.
I think
Smith
what would have been Yeah,
Chris Rock thing. I think they wanted to be a little bit more safe.
No, I think what would have been safe is trying to get Jimmy Kimmel again. And I'm so glad they didn't have Jimmy Kimmel. I'm so glad that they got Conan. Conan was so much better than him. Yeah. You know, I actually laughed at some of the jokes. So I
think Trevor Noah would have been funny. I know you don't like Trevor Noah, but
I mean, I don't think Trevor Noah is funny. I'm sorry.
I think Trevor
Noah sits there.
Funny.
He's good at telling stories, but it's not funny.
You don't think so?
I don't think he's funny.
Because he's an actual comedian. Conan O'Brien is not an actual comedian.
Yes, he is.
Conan O'Brien?
Yes. What are you talking about?
Talk show host. I never seen Conan O'Brien do stand-up. You seen Conan O'Brien do stand-up?
I've seen him do stand-up before.
You have?
I used to watch his show all the time.
Yeah, I used to watch his show too.
TBS.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. When they do their banter before they bring up their guests.
Yeah, that's stand-up.
All talk shows do that.
Okay.
That's not like stand-up. That's not... A true comedian would consider that stand-up
Conan
comedy.
O'Brien's way funnier than Trevor Noah.
Nah.
It's not even close. Trevor Noah is not even funny.
You crazy. You just don't like Trevor Noah because he's black.
No, please. That first,
you don't like Africans.
I'm not even going to say that.
You don't like Africans.
I'm not even going to say that. I was about to say something, and I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
say it.
Listen, Conan O'Brien is way funnier than him. He's funnier than Jimmy Kimmel. He's funnier than a lot of these people.
He's funnier than Jimmy Kimmel, but he's not funnier than Trevor Noah.
Yeah. I mean, Trevor Noah's not.
They could have even got Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's funny.
Yeah, Jon Stewart's funny.
Jon Stewart's, yeah.
I don't think he would do it.
Probably not.
And then it would become all about politics if it was him.
I was waiting on someone to shit on Trump.
I'm glad that nobody was out there trying to do the politics thing because I think it's so overdone. Like, thank you that you guys didn't do that.
Someone said something though. I can't remember what it was, but someone did say something.
It just becomes performative and it's almost just kind of cringe.
Yeah, someone did.
It's like watching a Kendrick Lamar thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. You see, your boy Conan. He's getting shit on Drake too.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Conan need to pop out and call Drake a pedo. Nah. I was like, oh yeah, Conan. That was funny.
No, I mean
that was funny.
It's too performative for me because when they go and search up a lot of these comedians afterwards and they're like, okay, well, are they putting their money where their mouth is? Like, how many black people have they hired? How many women have they hired?
The comedians?
Well, no, whenever somebody says something like that, like when
one of the stars,
when they get up there and they're like, "Oh fuck Trump," like all that stuff. Yeah. What are they really doing something for the community to kind of help with other things that are going on? Like, are they hiring when they get the opportunity? Are they hiring diverse candidates? Yeah, like a black director or a woman for directing or something like that.
It's just what to say, man.
That's why I say it's performative. Hollywood is kind of performative in that way. So,
like your guy, man, he Adrian Brody.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, his speech. God, he
went on and on and on.
Yes, and he won an Oscar before, and then he won I get what you're saying is heartfelt. Then he took so long to, he's pausing in between his thoughts, then the music come on. Tell me, I've been here before, this number wrote it, killer music. And then you still took a long time. I was like, oh, man, get him off the stage, exactly. Man. Come on, bro.
I'm not going to lie, I wanted Chalamet to win.
Chalamet?
Because, Adrian Brody already won.
He did.
It's like, why are we... And it was basically the same movie. I mean, I hate to be like... I mean, it's not the same movie, obviously.
What movie he won for?
Don't come at me. But
the Brutalist?
The Brutalist.
I haven't even heard of that.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. It's like 3 hours long. And it feels like it from what I hear. But as a filmmaker, I'm going to go and watch that movie and see what it's like. But, I'm not a big fan of Adrian Brody. So
I mean, I saw King Kong, and you know what I'm saying. Did you see a Complete Unknown?
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm gonna watch that though, because
I was
Bob
thinking
Dylan.
about it. I know who Bob Dylan is,
yeah,
but
Bob
I'm not
Dylan's a good guy.
He is a good guy, and he's a civil rights activist.
I know. Yeah,
in that aspect, I would see, because he even did a song for the Hurricane when he, the Hurricane when Denzel played Hurricane, which Denzel got robbed Oscars for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
he also a lot of he used to make songs all the time. During the civil rights era and. Talked about some of the stuff that nobody was really talking about, Medgar Evers and some of those guys. So
to me, Bob Dylan can't sing. because it's folk music. But
Yeah.
he's a talented musician because he played the guitar and blew the harmonica at the same time.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm not a folk person, so I may look at it because I even watched, which was good, by the way.
That documentary on Netflix?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
Another movie I watched with Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, the Johnny Cash
The Johnny Cash movie was good. And then I watched some of Elvis, and I kind of fell asleep. But I want to know how much truth they're going to show
I
in
watched
the
the
Elvis.
Elvis movie.
You watched the Elvis one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if they show him taking stuff from black musicians and things like that. But they probably didn't show that in the movie. They probably tried to make it like it was all Elvis' creative idea and things like that, which we know that wasn't true either. I know y'all out there love the king, but there's only one king.
The king.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Sean Baker for winning Best Director.
Oh yeah. For what movie?
Honora.
I know, I didn't see it.
It's Sean Baker.
They didn't even have
Which that's kind of controversial now.
They didn't even have. I thought it was cool that the black wardrobe, the guy who does wardrobe.
He was the first.
He's the first black ever
Right.
to win.
It was for Wicked, right?
For Wicked, yeah. I knew Wicked
Was it wardrobe or was it? Let's check on that.
I think it's wardrobe.
Let's make
Look
sure.
at it. Paul Tazewell. Yeah, Paul.
He was the first black costume designer.
Costume designer, yeah.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, first black ever.
Shout out to him.
Yep, Paul Tazewell.
Okay,
Paul Tazewell, see?
shout out to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He won for costume. So yeah. Big ups to this brother here, man. That's a great feat for. I know Wicked was gonna win something. They were promoting that movie so hard, and so every time you come on the TV, that's all you saw was that lady singing, looking like the witch, the Wicked Witch in green, and But they didn't even have. They kind of threw it into a category. They didn't even have as one of the primary 10 movies. I thought they would have had a Gladiator 2.
Nah.
They didn't even have Gladiator 2 in there.
Nah. I don't.
But I think they did.
They got nominated for something.
I think for a costume maybe or something like that. Yeah.
But that wasn't one of the best movies of the year. Not in my opinion.
But I thought they would have had.
It was alright
because of the critically acclaimed actors in there. You thought Honora was better than that?
I haven't seen Honora. I have to watch these movies. I haven't really watched them.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna watch Honora because I'm a fan of Sean Baker. Which again,
it's independent, right?
Hey, why doesn't anybody like Cynthia Erivo? I've been seeing a lot of black people say they don't like her.
Oh, the girl from England with the bald head.
Yeah.
Only thing I can think of is because she's British. And
no, I
she's
think
kinda
she
blown
said
up.
something though.
Oh,
But
she
I
said
was
something?
like, because they were like, oh, we're not gonna support her because something, and that's why she ended up losing at the NAACP. I was just kind of glancing at something.
Oh, really?
And I heard that they said something.
Yeah. She played no. She didn't play Harriet Tubman. Somebody else played Harriet Tubman, right?
No, she played her.
She played Harriet.
Yeah.
She played Tubman. Oh, okay, she did. Yeah. I don't know. I think sometimes I don't know for sure, but some people saying these British black actors come over here and they're getting all the roles and they're blowing up over here and stuff like that. I don't know if that has something to do with it.
Well, this is on Reddit, so not a credible source, but I just looked it up. It says that she called black Americans ghetto and then turned around and played a historical American, black American.
And she's even dating a black American. She's dating Lena Waithe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why they always together. Yeah, she's dating Lena Waithe.
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. So black Americans are ghetto.
Does that change the way you think about her?
No, I don't know if she said it or not.
Okay.
There are some.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Apparently she said it because that's what I've been hearing. I've been watching some TikToks, and I was I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of people have been mad. Even, I think I can't remember. There was somebody famous that brought it up and was like, "Yeah, this is why they're not messing with her." So
ghetto is a pronoun, and that goes to any race. I've lived next to some ghetto white people. I mean, hood white people. I've seen some ghetto Mexicans. I've seen ghetto black people. That is a pronoun. You know, that's not just stereo to black people.
Okay.
I've seen white people got evicted and thrown out, and they were hood as hell. So
Yeah.
ghetto is a pronoun. Yeah. As if she did say that, it's sad that she would say that. I mean, what
I
they
know.
aren't ghetto
That is
people in England? They aren't ghetto
They
white
got to
and
have
black
it.
people.
They gotta
in
have
England?
it.
Yes, of course.
But
They have slums too.
But she probably feels like Americans are different than the typical Brit.
If that's the case, then you blowing up over here. Turn down American jobs and stick to the Brits.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, let's move on. Tell us about the fight. What happened? I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch the fight?
I just watched the clips. Yeah.
Man, the fight, I guess it was sort of a controversial moment, man. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Gervonta was so favored to win. They had him like at a negative 1,600. He's so favored. Meaning if you bet, you'd have to put up so much money just to win money. Which I put some money on that fight, on the spread of the fight, not on a winner.
On who? Who did you?
I put that certain fights would average this many punches. One of them
so
didn't. Then the fight would go the distance. But every fight I bet on, they went the distance.
So you didn't bet for either one?
No. The way they got it set up, they won't let you do that.
Oh, okay.
You had to pick one fighter out of that fight. So I bet on the main event, and then I had two preliminary fights, undercards, and I put money on those.
So tell us what happened. Who won?
But what happened, it turned out to be a draw. Gervonta didn't do... I mean, they both... Roach was not meant to be taken lightly, right? And I saw the fight because they sparred before. And amateurs, Gervonta beat him by a point or two or whatever. But Roach is a tough guy, and I definitely think he's going to get bigger fights. He kind of handled his own. He was in there defensively, offensively. Gervonta, caught him with some punches. Gervonta normally would take a slower start, maybe about around the third or fourth round. Maybe he start trying to open up. But even he admit he just didn't do enough. He kind of stayed a little bit more cautious because he know the dude's not to be taken lightly just in case he might get caught with something, which he was being caught with some punches. And they both were landing punches. I kind of, a lot of people felt that Lamont Roach won. They felt that, and I see that.
Okay.
I kind of maybe might have had a little bit more on Davis, a little bit more, even though no one got dropped, is because Davis landed more power punches.
Okay.
And then if some people said Lamont Roach, I can kind of see that.
Now you just said something that a lot of people are disagreeing with today.
Yeah.
All right. So you said that nobody got dropped, and in the fight.
Oh, right. Go ahead.
Okay, Gervonta Davis took a knee. He blamed it on, by the way, I know because I get my hair done.
Yeah.
And, they put a bunch of grease in your hair
Right.
when they're doing that stuff.
Right.
And he took a knee, then he ran over to his corner.
Yes.
And, got his face wiped off or whatever.
Right.
Okay. Now, this was right after a hit.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of people feel like he got knocked down. But, and by the way, it's illegal to take a knee without it being called, you got knocked down. You know what I mean? So, apparently. So, what were your thoughts on that moment? I
saw that, and I first I was baffled, like, what is he doing? So I saw the punch come, right? But the punch he caught him, I think he hit him like either near the eye or the forehead. It was a jab. It was a jab.
Okay.
He caught him with a jab. But it wasn't a jab enough to hurt him. Because he hit him with way worse than that. You know what I'm saying? Hit him way worse than that. Now, I agree. Now, some people would say, because he voluntarily took that knee, it could still be considered like a knockdown. And if they would have given him a standing 8 count, then fine. But he didn't do that because he did the knee, and then he immediately ran over to his corner, right? He ran over to his, and they wiped him off. Clearly, if you took a knee, you hurt, you ain't gonna get up that quick and just run over to your corner and yell for your trainer, boy, wipe my face real quick. So he clearly wasn't hurt. Yeah, he hit him with a jab, you know what I'm saying? But if the ref would have gave him, now not just on the ref, if the ref would have given him a standing 8 count, then fine, then so be it. You know what I mean? But he just didn't do it. He just I don't know why he didn't do it. I guess he was explaining to the ref, whatever. So then he came back in it, and they just went back to boxing. So he clearly wasn't hurt.
Okay. Well, a lot of people feel like the other boxer got robbed because of that moment. And it should have been called a knockdown, and he should have won. They called it a draw. A draw.
They call it a draw, yeah.
And so a lot of people feel like they really messed up by doing that, Yeah. And to me, ultimately, one of the reasons why I've stopped really watching boxing is because of moments like that, where it's just like questionable moments, things that they do that's weird, and then, you come out of it feeling like, somebody got robbed or that things were rigged or something's going on there. And so, which never really happens with the sport that I actually watch now, which is UFC. Ultimately, boxing, they got to clean it up, man. They got to stop having these moments. Otherwise, they're going to lose their audience. The way that people are going back and forth right now is like, yeah, that just sums it up for me. But I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, boxing, I have seen some people got robbed. I will say that. I've seen some fights. Even with I've seen Pacquiao got robbed twice against Horn, against Timothy Bradley. I've seen Garcia fought another Hispanic fighter in Puerto Rico, because Garcia's Puerto Rican, and technically he clearly lost that fight, Yeah. So at least in my book. But of course, no fighter's going to say today, "Oh no, I felt I won the fight." Of course, I get it, but yeah. Boxing is not sanctioned. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a commissioner. Even Tyson, to give the history of boxing, it's a dirty sport. It's undermining stuff that goes on sometimes. It's a dirty sport. But as far as losing their fans, boxing will never lose their fan, because it's the oldest boxing. The history of boxing stems from the streets. It stems from gangs. The red side, the blue side, the Republicans, the Democrat. You get somebody from your gang who's tough, where they meet up to settle things, and then somebody from this side comes back. That's what we say. That's what the red and the blue corner stimulates, the Democrats and the Republicans. Boxing stems from the streets. Boxing will never, ever lose its audience. Now, you may have a lot of casual fans, and casual fans, they really don't know about boxing. You can read in the comments. They don't even argue back and forth with them, But true boxing fans, and even some people who feel that Lamont got robbed, honestly, I won't argue against them. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, I get it. I understand. I can see why you say that. I can see why some people may slightly feel Lamont should have won. Some people might slightly feel towards Tank because he is the A side. And then I can kind of see why they almost would feel like it would slightly be a draw. You know what I'm saying? But I get that. Their point is valid. I think their point is valid. Everybody's point is valid.
Well, who do you think? Because Lamont said that he felt like he won even without them counting the knockout, the knockdown.
Yeah.
So
and I get that too. Who
do you think won?
I get that too. Only reason why
watched it.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm like this. If they gave it to Lamont, I understand, right?
Okay.
And then when I look at the power punches landed, and if they gave it to Tank, slightly, maybe if it's like, say a scorecard to read like 115 to like Lamont favor and 113 to Tank, I can and then he maybe got it on a split, then I can understand. And I thought if Tank would have won this fight, I said, man, you know what? Because being a Tank is the A side, and I done seen a lot of times they're going to go with the brand, the cash cow.
Yeah.
We're going to make money, you know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, if Tank wins this, they're going to give him a split decision.
Yeah,
but it ended up being a draw. So
I think that's why they made it a draw, was because they didn't want Tank to lose.
And that could be the case too.
Again, that goes back to the problems with boxing.
I can see that too.
Dang.
I can definitely see that too.
I don't like seeing my favorite UFC fighters lose, but like somebody's got to lose.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. And what's so crazy?
A different game.
What's crazy is if because Tank voluntarily took that knee because he said he had some grease or something in his eye, right? Mm-hmm. Which I believe him on that because he wasn't hurt at all. I believe him. And then, granted, the ref could have given him a standing 8 count, but he didn't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, even though all that happened, right? I guarantee you, if Tank would if he would have knocked Lamont down, even if Lamont wouldn't hurt and he got the standing 8 count, they would have given that fight to Tank.
Yeah, they would have given it to Tank. That's the problem. That's the problem with boxing.
Yeah, they would have given it to him.
At least you're acknowledging it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got to be fair. That's one thing about me. I'm
you like
fair.
Tank. I can tell. That's why you don't want to give it to Lamont.
No, I mean...
Yeah, you're a fan of Tank.
Listen, I'll admit,
You like him because he's, what's his name's boxer, isn't he? Or they help out each other or something? I can't
Mayweather?
Remember. Yeah.
No, he totally against Mayweather.
Oh, is he?
No, yeah. Okay. He's not, he was under Mayweather, but he said Mayweather did him dirty for whatever reason. But no, I can admit, I may can be slightly biased.
Okay.
But at the same time, I also can admit, too, if they had give the fight to the Lamont, I wouldn't have been like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? You know, I wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like even with Lomachenko. Okay. And he fought Devin Haney. You saw that? Mm-mm. Like we got a partner who loves Devin Haney, right? Bless.
Okay. Okay.
And he felt that Devin Haney won. Clearly, look at that fight. Lomachenko got cheated. He got cheated, man. Lomachenko won that fight, and they gave it to Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, at least in my book. But, yeah. But, you know, that's boxing, man. Go ahead.
Boxing.
What you about to say?
All right. Well, we're going to move on. Let's talk about something that happens in California more so than it happens in the Carolinas. There's been fires going on lately. And where have they been happening?
Near North Myrtle Beach, near Myrtle Beach area. Wildfires spread out, and that's totally...
North Myrtle Beach?
It's near Myrtle Beach, I should say.
Is it North Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, I think.
Shoot.
It's up that side. You got family up that way?
I got some friends up there.
Yeah. So let me.
Dang, I need to call them.
Yeah. So I'll read this real quick, and I'm reading this from Baller Alert. It says hundreds evacuated as a massive wildfire burn across South Carolina with a 1,200-acre blaze near Myrtle Beach leading the charge. So maybe not north, maybe somewhere near Myrtle Beach area vicinity. Okay. But leading the charge, near Myrtle Beach leading the charge. Fire crews are battling over 175 wildfires statewide as dry, windy conditions fuel the flames.
It has been windy the last few days.
It has been windy.
And we were outside. We were shooting a video.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how windy it was. Yeah.
And apparently that's bad for fires because that caused them to spread even more, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know what, I would love to know what caused it. Is it arson or
I mean, like
plant or something like that? Like how in California, that power plant, I think they say that's what caused the fire. Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I don't know what's going on. What's going on with these fires?
Man.
And then it feels like we're not equipped.
They're not,
to like handle these fires. And I'm like, what are we doing? This is 2025. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to criticize people too much. Yeah. But I mean, like, because, you know, it's sad to see because people are losing their homes and, you know, their livelihoods and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's sad to see. So I don't really want to criticize things that are going on. But I mean, like, it is 2025, guys. How can we not fight fires? You know, with all this technology we have, it's crazy.
And for massive fires like that, well, it's been shown South Carolina's not equipped to handle that because we don't get these. And we get rain. Unlike California, they may not get rain as much, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're definitely not equipped to handle that. And then on top of that, you know, and thoughts and prayers go out to California and South Carolina.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
The one thing about California is these people got money. I'm pretty sure here in South Carolina, you know, and near Myrtle Beach, not everybody got bread like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you know, what do you think about as Trump maybe shutting down FEMA or stopping some of the funding for FEMA so these people can't get, you know, adequate help that they need? Because, you know, the insurance company ain't going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm first to say insurance gonna rip you off. You know, y'all don't have fire insurance because this is a no fire zone. They ain't gonna pay you nothing. If they do, you may have like a $400,000 house, and your insurance company and cut you a check for $430. You know, you're like, what am I gonna do with this? You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that?
I don't think Trump's gonna shut down FEMA. I know he said that, but you can't. You know, like you have to have some kind of relief for people. And I think, ultimately he's probably going to end up, he's going to have to. I mean, somehow people are going to get relief. Otherwise, people are going to make a big problem about it. They're going to say something about it. And trust me, they will. They were doing it when Biden was in there. So you think they're not going to say it when Trump's in there?
I thought that would have been like an act of Congress to do, for that. Like he can't executive order and pull funding from FEMA and stuff like that,
Yeah,
at least I don't think he should be able to do that.
Yeah, I actually don't know what the legal behind the scenes.
Yeah, I would think that would be a Congress thing.
But I mean, it does seem like they're still continuing to like shift money around and to do things up there. But I think to see this so close to where we are. I mean, Myrtle's only 2 hours away from us.
And
we've all been up there, and so I hope everybody's good, and I mean, it's sad to see, and hopefully they get relief, and hopefully we finish. We contain these fires. Did they say a percentage of how much it's contained, or?
Man, dude, I don't know how much is contained. I looked at this. This is like, bro, look at this.
Yeah, I know.
You see how that look? You would thought you were in Cali.
Yeah, I know.
The way that looks, man.
That is how it looks.
That's like serious. Yeah. So I'm hoping that it's contained, and people had to evacuate. Hopefully, people didn't get too much damage.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the federal government, for California and South Carolina, would allow FEMA to come in and help the people in need, because I would think in Cali, a lot of people probably gonna need FEMA, those trailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, because there's nothing to inspect for us home, they would at least have to set up those FEMA trailers for some of them. And I don't know the situation in South Carolina, but I would hope Congress would, step in and, because a lot of people think that, some people think that, because Trump doesn't run the country. Congress runs the country.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't run. He can, veto and pass bills and things like that. He has the power to do that, but he doesn't run the country. The president runs the military, not the country. Congress runs the country. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I hope that they would.
But there
do
are
something
things that the president can do.
That's what I'm saying. He can veto, pass bill,
right.
Veto bills and stuff like that. He can get bills passed too,
Yeah.
and do some executive order because he's over all the branches.
Yeah.
But ultimately, some things can get shut down through Supreme Court, of course, because they're supposed to be there to make sure checks and balances are in order. But Congress ultimately runs the country, so I'm hoping that they do something for these people, man. But our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody.
I hope everybody's okay.
Homes and their homes and things in these fires that's going on.
Yeah,
man.
I need to see exactly where it is. I hope it's not.
They're just sitting near Myrtle Beach. So check on your peoples. If y'all got peoples out there, check on them and see. Matter of fact, my boy Finn is on the podcast. His family from up that side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll probably hit him up and see if everything, if his people's
I know
all right.
a few different people up there. So
I
guess that would make sense because they were saying it's like North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yeah.
And so like North Myrtle is right there, like because I've been up there.
Yeah.
To see my friends, and so it's like you're basically in North Carolina at a certain point. I mean, maybe it's like 30 minutes away from North Carolina, something like that. So
yeah, with these winds, hopefully they got it contained because we've been having some windy days, and that caused the fires to jump, and that dry forest, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
that, yeah, that caused it to jump, man.
So
yeah, hopefully, man. Thoughts and prayers to the families out there, So yeah, but before we wrap, man, we just and also we want to give a R.I.P. to Angie Stone. Some of y'all heard about that she passed I think a day or so ago. Tragically, she was in a bad car accident, and someone posted her last performance when she was on stage, and they was leaving From what I heard, it was a Sprinter van, and it flipped like 3 times a truck. I don't know if they hit a truck or a truck hit them.
Oh, no.
And it flipped 3 times, and she was the only one who died. Everybody else maybe, maybe suffered minor injuries or injured, what have you. But she was the only one who passed. So, and she's from Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
She's from here. She's from Columbia, South Carolina. So, yeah, thoughts and prayers with her family as well. R.I.P. to Angie Stone, and she will definitely be loved and be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's been the Black Summit.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We have a little man on the street video that's coming up. And it's kind of, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, stay tuned for that. We have more stuff coming up. We're going to get more into politics and different things of that nature. So definitely stay tuned.
Definitely that.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm Brooks.
And I am Hendrix.
And we out.
Peace.
Peace.